What is media literacy? Media literacy is the ability to access, analyze, evaluate, and create media in a variety of forms. Media literacy has become increasingly complex over the recent years. With such a high volume of information now at our fingertips, thanks to smartphones and search engines, today's people will need to become more efficient at filtering what they see and hear. In other words, it's more important now than ever before to teach media literacy. So, where do we start? Number 1. Recognize fake news. False news spreads faster, farther, and deeper than real news. Do not just read the headline of a news. Also, check the date and author credentials, gauge the tone and language, and identify biases. For example, Twitter is a great resource since you can follow multiple news channels and see how many sources are reporting the same information. Number 2. Using multiple resources. When trying to spot a fake news, the first thing you should do is check other sources for the same story. Since different sources report different details about the subject, we will gain a fuller, more accurate perspective on an issue when we read, listen, or view more widely. Number 3. Questioning numbers and figures. Evaluating words often requires evaluating numbers too. Say you come across an article that claims students perform better in school when they get at least 8 hours of sleep, and you share it on Facebook. But when you take a closer look at the cited study, you find that it was only performed at one school, in one class, on 6 students. It's crucial that we learn to judge the math behind the message. Use infographics to illustrate how numbers can trick the mind into buying the whole message. Number 4. Recognizing bias. We must recognize which channels might highlight which kinds of facts, emphasize certain kinds of context or angles, and use different tones. At the same time, we must recognize their own biases, which can influence their perceptions of the media as well. It goes both ways. Biases can be political as well as personal, just like what happened to all the Philippine presidential candidates in 2022. Number 5. Becoming responsible creators. It's never been easier to create and spread a message into such a wide audience. Let us be responsible creators of media. Not all of us will go into the media, but we will surely design and distribute information, many of us daily, for the rest of our lives. Let us learn how to be discerning creators of the media and explain to others why it matters. The world doesn't need another selfie unless it means something. Now, savvy internet users know how to find and evaluate sources in order not to spread misinformation. That environment and its endless barrage of information means that even users with the best of intentions may run into problems with the searches they conduct and the information that gets returned. In the end, it's important to realize that media literacy is contextual, complicated, and ongoing. We must remember that search engines are not designed to guide us through existential crisis or challenge our existing beliefs. Ultimately, our results tie back to what we query, so we need to be mindful of the role we play in the information seeking process. That's all. Thank you.